This CEO added 87,000 in new MMR in 30 days using YouTube. And for context, JP runs an education company that teaches young men how to match bet as a business opportunity, basically a specific arbitrage strategy. And he wanted to launch a new info product, but he was stuck at 20K per month because nobody knew what his niche was. And paid ads were just getting way too expensive to balance his profit margins. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 strategies that we implemented to help him overcome that bottleneck and just scale his revenue by up to 435%. And I'm also going to walk you through why a lot of people in lesser known industries just get this completely wrong. So the first strategy that we used was a lead magnet overhaul. When we first started working with JP, he just wanted us to fix his lead magnet because he was only converting about 3% of his customers. His customers weren't taking action to get the quantifiable result that the lead magnet promised, because there was a huge drop off at video number 2 where the real value actually began. That was exactly our number 1 priority. We just fixed his hooks, fixed his sloppy scripts, made the editing much more understandable, and then placed CTAs at video number 4 and video number 6 where it was most appropriate, because that's when customers have validated the value that they got. And by fixing this, his conversions went from 3% up to 15% as a result. And we didn't just stop there. I told JP that, hey, by the way, let's take this a step further and add YouTube in as a funnel. And that's exactly what we did, which leads us to strategy number 2, YouTube as a funnel. So instead of hiding his best content behind like an email gate, I convinced JP like, hey, by the way, why not just break this lead magnet into 12 separate YouTube videos and just post it on your channel and, get people more results that you promised them to. But at first, JP was like, but no, Derek, I spent so much time making this lead magnet, like fucking 3 months. I don't want to be giving this away for free. Like, at least give me your email. But I told him like, but JP, but sharing this for free on YouTube will eventually get more people to that quantifiable result that you promised in the first place. When they do get those results, they will soon realize that getting your specific help on a one-on-one basis will get them even better results in a much shorter time. So we started posting more of his best content on YouTube and continue to push his free course lead magnet over and over and over again to drive more people to sign up to his webinar. And then what happened was YouTube went on to get him more webinar signups, obviously, but it also went on to sell the majority of his upsells for his 5K per month coaching program and also $500 per month software. And one of our key players that drove astronomically more revenue was actually student interviews and video success stories. And so that leads us to strategy number 3. And so for context, JP was already doing student interviews on Instagram that worked really, really well. And so I told him to, hey, just double down on this and bring your most successful students to your company for in-person interviews. And I kid you not, JP literally 3 days later, he just booked plane tickets for all of his students to come from Sydney to Melbourne so that he can interview them in his office. And these weren't just testimonials. They were detailed case study breakdowns showing exactly how his students got this quantifiable results by working with him and how his systems worked. And so this ultimately gave his viewers that final push to join his program, because now they know that his stuff is actually legit. And so when we did look at the data, these videos became basically his highest converting content, because prospects now not only know, like, and trust you, but they also see themselves in the success stories. And as a result, after 30 days of fixing his lead magnet and then displaying that content at a wider scale on his YouTube channel as a funnel, and then doubling down on what has worked in terms of conversion, JP went from signing only 20 members per month to 87 members per month. That's 87K in new revenue in only 30 days. But the real kicker is that after implementing these 3 strategies, he's now far surpassed 87K in revenue, because that was last January. Now it's September. It's been 9 months and he's been still doing this over and over and over again. And he's still getting the results from the compounding effect of YouTube, because he's still running paid ads on the back end and also using YouTube as a funnel and his webinar funnel to make even more revenue. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you're doing $1 million a year and you think YouTube seems just impossible for your industry, I work with a handful of founders each quarter to help them just crack the code on how to make YouTube work in their industry. If you want my help to look into your business and just basically make YouTube work for you, you can click the link below. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit subscribe, because I basically upload these case study breakdowns every single week so that hopefully you guys can get some value and make YouTube work for you in your industry.